Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the Ophel Akim, pushing this word with truth and sincerity. Shalom to the multitude of the elect, man, woman, and child, a part of the house of David. All right, those that were predestined by Yahweh Shemel Shai to receive salvation. All right, they would be following this truth. All right, they be rehearsing the righteous acts in these times as we draw closer to the return of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right. And we're part, Lord willing, we be a part of that number, but we have hope and faith, all right, that the Lord's going to redeem us in these times. And it's important for us to remember that, all right, as we see the collapse of this queendom and as this world is being held together by, strings, as we see the collapse taking place, the woes, all right, the pains and sorrows that the Lord is going to deliver his elect, all right, and to keep that in the forefront of our minds. All right, so this is a Second Esdras 2 and 27. It says, "Be not weary, for when that day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance." Right? Yeah, the Lord is going to give us substance, all right? And he's going to make sure we have enough, all right, in these times to keep us going, all right, to endure the evil day, all right. The evil day is to make it through, all right, because one thing's for sure, all right, the wicked are going to be, destroyed, and Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, the elect, will see salvation. All right. Verse 28 says, "The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord." All right. Where is that envy going to come from? All right. Doesn't it say in the 16th chapter that he shall make his elect known? That's what's going to make a man of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai more precious than fine gold, is that he has the covering of the Lord. All right. He has that armor of faith, the shield, the helmet of salvation. The helmet of salvation. All right. He has the Lord's angels as protection. All right. What does it say? The weapons of his warfare are not carnal. Okay. And it's going to be without a shadow of a doubt. All right, you're gonna be able to see it. All right. That's gonna be part of the glory on this side. And that's a part of the deliverance, is that that when this world is falling apart, hey, we gonna be doing all right. We gonna be able to, you know, the Lord's gonna look out for us. We're still gonna be, a time like no other. You're still gonna have to go through the hardships. All right, we're still gonna be affected by, events, but hey, we gonna make it. The Lord is gonna give you enough strength. Okay, if you're a part of the elect, to, endure that hardness. So it says in verse 29, it says, "My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for the Lord will deliver, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord." Okay. And these is the times we in the beginning of sorrows. You could say, all right, it's not, we ain't really doubting that we in this third world woe. All right, that the third world war has begun. Signs of the end times. All right. Mark 13 and 7, "And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet." Okay. And we're hearing wars, rumors of wars, we're seeing events pop off. All right, the Lord told us, be ye not troubled. Okay. Look, in the NLT it says, but don't panic. All right. These things were, and you should very well know, as it says in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. All right. You know the day. You know what time it is, man. Okay. So, hey, don't panic. Let's just look at sudden uncontrollable fear or anxiety, often causing wildly unthinking behavior. Okay, so don't make rash decisions, because the world is ending. We knew that the world was ending, 10 years ago. For me, 5, 6, 7 years ago, when coming into this truth. And that's, part of the thing, like, as it just read, you got to have that comfort. All right. The comfort comes from the scriptures, knowing prophecy and the destruction at hand puts your mind at rest to a certain extent, because even though man don't know the hour or day of the Lord's return, all right, and we hasten for that day, so we could get up out of this captivity. Man, it's the Lord didn't call it the Comforter, the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, for no reason. All right, let's actually get that in the book of Romans. It's at the 15th chapter, in the 4th verse, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." All right, now when you go into patience, that patience goes into suffering. All right. It's actually just patience. Really, just means through sustaining, enduring perseverance. Okay. Yeah, it says persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Okay, so we gotta, suffer that. We're suffering this captivity. See, it says right here to, in the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials or suffering. Look this up real quick. Devoutness, dutifulness, the quality of being religious or reverent. Serving Yahweh Bashim Shai, man. To revere something is to honor. Okay, let's go back into Mark 13. And who had that devoutness through his sufferings, trials? Yahweh Shai. He could also say Job. All right. You look at the story of Job. Mark 13 and 8. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdoms against kingdoms, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. There shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. But take heed to yourselves. No, we're going to stop right there. We are at the beginning of sorrows, man. Look what it says at the bottom of the NLT. But this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. So, hey, what's the Lord telling you? Brace yourselves. It's about to get worse. But be not troubled, because the Lord is going to deliver you from the same. All right? In these times, go back to find that comfort in the scriptures, man. That's why the Lord says this in Isaiah 40:1. It says, comfort ye my people, saith the Most High. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. Right? Our punishment is almost over. All right. We're in a transitional phase right now. For she hath received of Yahweh's hand double for all her sins. And the Lord is coming to judge this place, Babylon the Great, through the plagues of Egypt as before. Okay. Those plagues is already out and about. All right, with more to come. Ultimately, the last one being a plague of fire that the Lord is going to send, via ICBM missile. But hey, you gonna see that famine. All right, and more so, man. A physical famine, a famine of the word, which this article I read the other day, they in the UK, they gonna start using that digital ID possibly to block people from using the internet, all right? Or to have to verify themselves to get online, all right? You think this word's going to last, the gospel's going to be online forever? This is the book of Job. It's going to be 5 and 19. And it says, so we're going to start at 17. Behold, happy is the man whom Yahweh correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. And what does it say? Let's get that. We're in being chastised by the Lord. This is Hebrews, the 12th chapter. And start at 9. It says, furthermore, we have had our fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? We should be subject more so even unto Yahweh, who made our fathers of this world. All right, because he's giving us a correction right now. He's giving Israel a correction. This captivity, no matter how good you got it here, all right, this ain't living. This ain't really how you're supposed to be. That's why you're looked at as a proverb and a byword. That's why they called you black. That's why they called you, these other names. All right? That's why they hid your true identity from you. That's why they kept you low. That was a chastisement from the Lord. All right, but we're going to get it back. We're going to get the glory back when we glorify the Father. All right? He's going to glorify us. For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. And that's the thing, man. Now, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai's discipline is so that we could be partakers of his holiness. Holy, separate, but his kingdom. Okay? So we could be, made, all right, refined and, made righteous judges. It says, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, which is going to be painful, man, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness, and unto them which are exercised thereby. So, hey, Yahweh Shema Shai is working this out. And what does it say? That the elect shall be tried by the furnace of affliction, furnace of adversity, tried as gold in the fire. Those impurities get burned out. And we're going back to that first estate. All right. Going back to immortality, everlasting rulership. That's what Israel got. All right. That's what the Lord has given us for a blessing. So let's go back in Job 5. In 19 it says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction. Boom. So that's the confidence we have, if you're doing right with the Lord. All right. That's the comfort. But you got to be patient, man. You got to be patient to receive these things. At times it's going to look scary. Shit. You don't think Jonah was scared when he was prophesying? He was afraid to prophesy. That's why he left. The Lord took him right back. This is a song. I'm going to just read 14. It says, because he hath, 14 and 15. He said, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. All right, he's going to deliver who puts his love. I will set him on high because he hath known my name. Right? The importance of knowing Yahweh, the heavenly name of the Father, the Son, Yahweh Shai. It's deliverance, man. But to truly believe on that true name, comes that deliverance. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him with long life. I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. That's the thing, we're going to be showed the salvation of Yahweh Shem Shai. We're going to experience that. Okay, so with that, Lord willing, it's edifying. Just, something to keep in the forefront of your mind, going through the day-to-day, going through, times as prophecy, more signs of prophecies pop up. All right. And, ease your mind not to be troubled, and, may give you the strength to endure to the end, which ultimately you have to pray that Yahweh Shem Shai keep that spirit on you, and find more of that comfort through digging in these scriptures, man. To build up that faith in these end times, man. So with that, Lord willing, was edifying. I say shalom.